welcome to day number 9 of the 12 days of soapless. I am so stoked to finally be sharing this with you guys. I made the video I don't even know how long ago, and then we waited to make it a part of Soapmas because Silent Night, candles, Christmas time, festivities, it all kind of went together. So I had the idea for this design and put it on paper like way long ago, like maybe even summertime. And at that point, I hadn't seen anybody do it before. So I was still trying to put together like how I was gonna actually create the thing. And then lucky for me, another soap maker did it, so I didn't have to like blaze the trail. The soap maker in question is Shayna, and I'm gonna leave all of her Instagram stuff down below. I saw her stuff because Brambleberry shared one of her photos, I think in like August, I'm pretty sure. And then she shared it on her own social media, and then I was following her and stuff. So when I saw her candlelit soap, which I will leave you guys a picture of over here on this side, I'll leave it over here. I was like, oh yes, it is possible. Somebody's done it before. Come to find out, I just went and checked the comment section of that photo, and she did it completely differently than I did. I was like, yes girl, I'm gonna be able to do it now because of you. And then we went and did 2 different things. So there's multiple ways you could do this soap. She actually created her little flames by using soap dough. I created mine using piping, and then of course like her design is different from mine anyway. But I wanted to give her a shout out because I felt so empowered and capable of making this design after I saw that she did it, and also she's just an amazing soap artist. She deserves tons of fame and credit and lots of followers, so be sure you go follow her. And without further ado, let's make some Silent Night soap. It took me 2 days to make this, by the way. 2 days. Before we make the actual soap, we have to make the candle embeds that go inside. The candles I'm making are gonna be a pretty stark white, so I'm adding in some oil-soluble titanium dioxide. I'm not gonna do a full base because then the candles would be too tall and there wouldn't be a lot of room for the other soap. Now that the TD is incorporated, let's add in our lye water solution. My soap is behaving quite well indeed. So I've got my 2 Brambleberry molds. These are the molds that I'm going to be using to make the finished bars. So in one of them, I'm going to pour just a little bit. These are going to be the shorter, kind of stumpier looking candles, about this much. And then the rest of it are going to be the tall pillar-like candles. Okay, so this being poured, I'm going to spritz the top, help kind of prevent it from getting chalky on us. And then I'm going to let it sit in the mold probably 3 or 4 days before I attempt to split it into the candles. We're back now, and the embeds for the Silent Night soap have set up. So I'm going to take these pieces of tape off the sides. I think Simeon might have put these on. Occasionally, if these liners sit in a funny position for too long, they'll flop back into the batch. It only happens when you don't store them properly. Sometimes I don't, and then you have to tape them once and then they go back to normal. I'm gonna pull the soap out of these silicone molds now. I've got some really tall candles here and also some really short ones right here. I will show you this way. Here's the difference in the thicknesses. One is about half as tall as the other one. So it's gonna look like one of them has been burned for slightly longer. I brought in Rosalind now because I want these candles to be a variety of thicknesses. So I'm gonna line it up here, and then I'm gonna start splitting candle sizes off. So I'm gonna do this multiple times, and then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like from the top viewpoint. Another thing I'm gonna do is turn this candle here on the side and take a teeny tiny bit off the top. That way we have candles of about 3 different heights. After I've split all the pieces up, this is what it looks like roughly. So each loaf, and if we hold it at an angle so you can see what the bars are gonna look like, it'll look a little something like this. Now that I've got all my little candlesticks, I'm going to bevel them because these edges definitely need to be cleaned up a little bit, especially here on the end. It's gonna be a very light bevel. You can see that little piece that came off. It's like as thin as a thread. Essentially, I just don't want it to make any unsightly marks in the soap itself. I don't want the candles to have a lip as it were. These little bits that are coming off look like shredded cheese or noodles or something. I've actually had a lot of requests for a spaghetti soap, a pizza soap, essentially any junk food. I've gotten fried chicken requests. That would be such a fun month. I could definitely do cheese puffs and then make all the fragrances something normal. We don't want cheese puff scented soap, that's gross. I've cleaned up the little candlestick, so now it is time to mix up the soap frosting that we're gonna be piping as a flame on the top. I have in this container some true yellow in my frosting recipe. My soap frosting recipe is available with the Royalty Soaps piping set at nurturesoap.com. We have 1 pound of oils in here. It's a teeny tiny little batch. This soap being nice and blended, I'm gonna set it off to the side and let it thicken up before I put it in my piping bag. Now, if you are slightly confused about what I'm actually trying to accomplish here, I hope this part makes it a lot more clear. My soap frosting in this piping bag is still pretty runny, but I'm using a tip that is so small. Having a little bit runnier frosting makes it a lot easier to pipe. The tip number is a Tico 15. It is so tiny. I'm gonna use one of these medium-sized ones, maybe this one right here to start on, just so I can kind of get a hand on what I'm doing here. And I'm gonna very, very gently, it's so hard to talk while I'm doing this, put one little pipe in a row, and I'm gonna try to keep it in the middle, because that's what a candle looks like. The flame doesn't go to the very edge, it stays right in the middle. We're gonna go all the way down the soap. That way when we cut it, it just looks like one continuous flame, not a bunch of little ones. It's gonna be nearly impossible for me to talk and do this at the same time, so enjoy the music. And this took just as long as you think it did. But all the candles are now officially lit. You can see them here from the front a little bit. Woo-wee. Okay, let's mix up the rest of the soap. It's finally time to mix up the base, and now it's also time for me to get nervous. I'm gonna mix my lye water solution into my oils, and now let's blend it up on high until just past emulsion. Just past emulsion now, so it's time to add the fragrance oil. The fragrance oil I'm using today is Afternoon Tea from Nurture Soap. To me, it smells like maybe an Earl Grey with a bit of lemon. It smells really good. I figured it was a really good fragrance to add because like the whole silent night candle-like look kind of reminded me of a library with tapers lit and then like having some tea with it and sitting down with a good book. So that's why I picked this one. And per usual, the tea fragrance has slowed down Trace. I was kind of counting on that, and I'm glad it actually happened. So let me go ahead and pour a little bit off into this container. To color the background, we're gonna be using dark steel gray from Nurture. I don't think this is available anymore. And then into the smaller container, we're adding a little titanium dioxide. So we got 2 shades of gray going. Let's blend these up. All right, we've got the 2 perfect colors in my opinion. Just gonna wipe down the sides of this first one, make sure everything is good and mixed in. All right, so we're gonna do an in the pot swirl with this. I didn't want either color to be really, really like in your face. So we're just gonna swirl it all around. And now we've got to pour our first little layer, the one that's gonna stick in all of our candles. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I hope this works. Just gonna pour it first into this container, and that's gonna mix our colors up even more for us. Okay, now it's time to pour into the molds. Oh! I'm placing the molds in this direction today. I think that's gonna give you guys the best vantage point to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna pour this mottled gray in on the bottom, just about this much. I'm probably not even gonna use, well, I might. I was gonna say I'm probably not gonna use all of it in here, but looks like I might just. No, look, I have some left over. Okay, now we've got to try to stick these in. I'm gonna start with this one on the side. The reason why I'm choosing to stick these in now is because I feel like I can get them closer together than if I was trying to stick them in without something for them to kind of stick to on the bottom, if that makes any sense. Then I can just kind of push it, hopefully, closer together here. Doesn't matter if that gray touches it. There's gonna be gray all over these in a moment. So far so good. Well, sorta, that one kind of tipped. Got some little popsicle sticks here. I think that's gonna help me push them a little closer together and stand up straight. This big guy shouldn't be a problem. We'll just put him right in. Oh, I hope this last one works. Please work. Okay, okay, we seem to be doing good. Wow, all right. Whew, okay. Now that I have that in, before anything moves, I'm gonna try to fill up these cracks with some of the gray. Well, it's still nice, oopsie, and liquidy. Let's move on to this second container here. We got a big one going in first on this side. Next is 2 little baby candles. Use my popsicle sticks. We've got a big one and a small one left, and I'm not sure how that's all gonna fit. I am gonna try to slip this in the side here. Is it gonna work? Maybe? I hope so. Hey, I'm gonna pour a little of the gray down here now. Now what I'm gonna do is tap this on the ground. Hopefully that'll get any air bubbles out and let everything settle in. Oh my gosh, I hope everything stayed like it was supposed to. All right, let's try to pour the rest of this in. Not modeling too much up. We are gonna have a textured top. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that this gets into all the cracks before I start mounding it up on top for our texture. I hope that by the end of this, the design still kind of looks like floating candles. Now I have piled on everything that was in those containers. It's basically a frosted soap at this point. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of that dark steel gray. I mixed it with some sweet almond oil. I'm gonna drizzle that across the top, but we are gonna mess all this up, so it really doesn't matter if it's in like straight lines or whatever. Put it across this one as well. I am gonna make sure that every bar is gonna get a little bit. All right, we got that on. The next thing I'm gonna do is take some 24 karat gold mica in my little tea strainer. Tap that on top. We just want a little bit, not a whole bunch. We're gonna mess this up too, so only a little is gonna stay there. Where is my perfect spoon? Spoon, you're never around when I need you. Found it. I don't know why this crappy spoon is so great at doing its job, but it is, so I'll continue to use it forever. Okay, so texturing, that's what we're doing. The soap, still very kind of squishy. Just good enough to actually hold itself up. And as you can see, we're kind of smashing in the gold and the gray a little bit, which is exactly what I said would happen. Look at me knowing what's gonna happen and all. So this looks a lot more symmetrical now that I've gotten to play with it a little bit. All those edges have been covered so everybody is even. It's not like big gloops here and there. Gonna do the same to this side over here. That being done, I'm gonna take a little bit more of the gold, put it right down the middle, not a whole bunch. We're gonna spritz the top with rubbing alcohol to seal everything in. Also to prevent ash. I find that grays and whites tend to ash more than other colors, so I always spritz these liberally. And that's it, we're done. I say that like it took me 10 minutes or something. This is what the soaps look like up close, but let's be honest, nobody really cares about what the top looks like. It's what's on the inside that counts. So I am gonna wait 18 to 24 hours. It's gonna be the most nerve-wracking 18 to 24 hours of my entire life. And then we're gonna come back and we are gonna chop them up into bars and take a peep at the hopefully extremely awesome inside. Okay, you guys, the moment of truth. It is time to cut. Silent night. I've got Caleb in here to cheer me on. Okay, so I'm pressing down gently with Kermit. It's pretty easy to cut this part, but I think it's gonna get a little harder once I get to those cold process embeds. Okay. I'm having to like psych myself up for this moment. Look at this. I am shooketh. Look at the little flames on the inside. And also that dark gray and light gray swirl really looks like the candles are illuminating it. That's amazing. So you can see where I put the piping on top of each candle and how it didn't go towards the edges, which was something I really tried to do. And the different thicknesses and heights of the candle. Oh, I'm so happy. It was worth it. It was worth every single minute. Also really glad that I stuck with the very simple top because the middle is the showstopper. Caleb, you have a question of the day for us?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Would you rather own a robot doppelganger who is better than you in every way, or would you rather eat 3 whole chickens for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day?
I'll take the robot.
But it's showing you up constantly. You live in fear that you're gonna be replaced.
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't have that fear for some reason.
Well, you would. Let's imagine in this scenario you do, and you're not a weirdo who doesn't have rational fears.
But but I can't do the chicken thing. I just can't do it.
What, okay, let's pretend you also enjoy this. Like
I enjoy eating that many chickens?
Yeah, you enjoy it. It's just the biggest hurdle that you have to cross is...
Nope. I'm taking the robot.
That people
nope.
think you're weird.
Robot.
That's it.
Robot.
It's just a little strange.
Have you met me? What would you pick?
The chickens.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were just rallying, being devil's advocate or whatever.
No, I take those chickens.
Well, your opinion doesn't matter that much. My opinion doesn't matter that much. The people's opinion is the one that matters the most. So if you'd like to vote in the question of the day, please just kick that eye. Kick it smack in the face.
9 chickens a day, or a robot that makes you wonder why you're there.
Upper right hand corner of the screen. I'm serious though. I'm just so delighted with it. I'm so delighted. It even kind of has that floating candle look I thought it might, and even that doesn't look bad. Oh, hooray. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment down below. Soapmas is closer to being over than it is to beginning. It has been a wild ride this year. It has been so much fun. The few videos that we still have left in the canon are definitely some of my favorites. Once again, go follow Shayna. You will not regret it. Her stuff is just, it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is going on a follow spree on Instagram of all the fabulous, creative, awesome people out there, or not using Instagram at all because you actually have some level of self-control. Either way, do something that makes you happy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next installment of the 12 Days of Soapmas. Bye for now. Ew.